If you're over 60 and waking up every morning feeling weaker, colder, and more disconnected in the bedroom, I want you to hear this loud and clear. The issue isn't your age, it's your circulation. And in many cases, all it takes to begin reversing the problem is 1 teaspoon of the right oil taken the right way each morning. I'm Dr. James, and I've spent over 3 decades helping men regain their strength, stamina, and sexual confidence without relying on pills, pumps, or prescriptions. Over the years, I've seen what works and, more importantly, what doesn't. And today, I'm going to share something with you that most doctors overlook because it doesn't come from a pharmacy. Now, I know it might sound too simple. A teaspoon of oil? Really? But once you understand how it activates nitric oxide, protects your blood vessels, and helps restore testosterone production, you'll see why thousands of men are quietly turning to this forgotten ritual to reclaim what age tried to take. This isn't some miracle fix. It's science, pure, proven, and natural. And when paired with 3 small tweaks to your morning routine, the results can be extraordinary. So stay with me. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal the exact oil, the right way to take it, and how it supports stronger erections, clearer thinking, and deeper intimacy, even after 60. If you've been waiting for something real, something your body can trust, then this just might be the moment that changes everything. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and tap that button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss simple, natural health strategies made for men over 60. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. Your feedback helps me serve you better. All right, now let's get into the heart of it. To understand why this simple oil ritual works so well, we first need to talk about what's really happening inside your body after 60. And it's something most men don't even realize. Because the real reason you're feeling more tired, colder in your hands and feet, or struggling in the bedroom isn't just about aging, it's about a quiet but dangerous slowdown in your blood flow. 1. The hidden crisis after 60. I still remember the look in Frank's eyes the day he sat across from me, 67 years old, retired, proud of the life he'd built, but crushed by the feeling that something inside him was slipping away. He said, "Doc, it's like I'm still here, but I'm not all the way alive anymore." He wasn't sick in the traditional sense. He didn't have a disease or a diagnosis, but he had something just as serious. He was slowly losing his circulation, and with it, his confidence, his energy, and his sense of manhood. This is what I call the hidden crisis after 60. It creeps in silently. Maybe your hands and feet are colder than they used to be. Maybe your energy fades by mid-morning. Or maybe it's more personal. Fewer firm mornings, more hesitation in the bedroom, and a quiet fear you don't want to talk about. It's easy to chalk it up to just getting older, but that's not the full story. What's really happening is that your blood vessels, the ones responsible for carrying oxygen and life to every part of your body, are starting to stiffen. The smooth flow you once had becomes restricted. Your arteries can't expand the way they used to, and your body begins to feel it everywhere. Less nitric oxide, more inflammation, and gradually the systems that made you feel vibrant start to dim. And here's the truth. If you don't actively support your circulation, it won't get better on its own. But the good news is, your body hasn't forgotten what to do. It just needs the right nudge, a gentle, consistent trigger to remind it how to function at its best. And that's where this 1 teaspoon of oil in the morning comes in. But before I explain how it works, you need to know exactly what to do and what not to do, so you don't waste your time or make things worse. Let's talk about the morning ritual that reawakens blood flow. 2. The morning ritual that reawakens blood flow. When I first heard about men taking olive oil in the morning to improve their circulation, I'll be honest, I was skeptical. I'm a man of science. I've spent decades reviewing clinical trials, treating patients, and staying grounded in what works. But then I started paying attention. I noticed a pattern. My patients who added this one ritual into their mornings began reporting subtle but powerful shifts. Warmer hands, more mental clarity, and yes, firmer, more reliable performance in the bedroom. That's when I started experimenting with it myself. And within a week, I felt the difference. I wasn't dragging in the mornings. My thoughts felt sharper. My body felt more awake. And my wife? She noticed it too. That's when I knew. This wasn't a coincidence. It was circulation coming back online. Here's how it works. Every morning before your first cup of coffee, before breakfast, you take 1 teaspoon of high-quality extra virgin olive oil. Not just any oil, the kind that's cold-pressed, organic, and rich in polyphenols. This isn't just healthy fat, it's medicine for your blood vessels. It gently reduces inflammation, supports your liver, and helps your arteries stay soft, open, and ready to deliver blood where it matters most. If you add just a small squeeze of lemon or a tiny pinch of black pepper, you boost its effectiveness even further. Lemon wakes up your liver. Black pepper enhances nutrient absorption. This is the kind of habit that feels too simple to matter. But over time, it begins to shift how your body performs and how you feel inside your skin. It's a natural reset button, a daily signal to your body that it's time to repair, restore, and reawaken. But let me be clear, not all oils are created equal, and most men are doing this completely wrong without even knowing it. So before you start, you need to understand the difference between the oils that heal and the ones that quietly harm. Let's talk about that next. 3. The science behind the ritual. I'll never forget the moment I sat down late one evening, surrounded by stacks of research papers, trying to make sense of why this simple olive oil ritual was having such a profound effect on my patients and on me. The stories were consistent. Men felt stronger, more alive, and more connected. I needed to understand why. And what I discovered that night changed how I practice medicine to this day. At the heart of it all is something called endothelial function. Think of your endothelium as the smooth inner lining of your blood vessels. When it's healthy, it releases nitric oxide, a molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up, allowing blood to flow freely. But as we age, and especially after 60, that lining becomes stiff, inflamed, and less responsive. The result? Restricted blood flow, poor oxygen delivery, and the all-too-familiar symptoms of fatigue, cold extremities, and yes, weak erections. Now here's where it gets exciting. Multiple studies show that extra virgin olive oil, particularly when rich in polyphenols, improves endothelial function. It boosts nitric oxide availability. It reduces oxidative stress, the cellular damage that quietly wears down your arteries. And it supports hormone production by protecting Leydig cells in the testes, which are essential for testosterone. In one study from Italy, men who consumed olive oil regularly had higher testosterone levels and fewer signs of vascular aging. It wasn't magic, it was biology responding to the right inputs. This oil doesn't force your body into action. It supports the systems that are already built to thrive. I've always believed the best medicine doesn't fight your body. It reminds it how to work the way it was designed to. And this oil, when taken the right way, does exactly that. But don't just take my word for it. Real men, just like you, have experienced life-changing results, and their stories say more than any study ever could. Let me share a few with you. 4. Real men, real results. There's something powerful about hearing another man say, "I thought it was over, but now I feel like myself again." I've heard those exact words more times than I can count. Not from young athletes or guys chasing six-packs, but from men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who had nearly given up hope that their best days were still ahead of them. Take Harold, 68, a retired teacher from New Jersey. He came to me quiet, reserved, embarrassed to even talk about what was going on. "It's not just the bedroom, Doc," he said. "It's everything. I feel like I'm fading." We started him on the morning ritual, just a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil paired with lemon and warm water. That's it. 2 weeks later, he called and told me, "I woke up this morning feeling clear, strong. My hands were warm, and when I rolled over to my wife, something just clicked." It's been years since I felt that. Then there was George, 72, a former truck driver who had been battling high blood pressure and intimacy issues for years. He didn't want another medication. He wanted to feel like a man again. Within a month of sticking to the ritual, not only did his circulation improve, but his entire posture changed. More confident, more present. His wife came in for his follow-up and whispered to me, "Thank you for giving me my husband back." These aren't isolated miracles. These are ordinary men who decided to take one small, consistent step and gave their bodies permission to respond. And when circulation returns, so does energy, passion, and a renewed sense of purpose. But here's the thing most people don't realize. This ritual only works when done right. And unfortunately, most men make critical mistakes that sabotage their results before they even begin. Let me show you what those mistakes are so you can avoid them and get the full benefit. 5. The bigger picture. What most men don't realize is that when you restore circulation, you're not just helping one part of your body, you're reigniting a system that affects everything. And I've seen it over and over again. A man starts this simple oil ritual thinking it might help in the bedroom, but 2 weeks later, he's sleeping better. 3 weeks in, he's thinking more clearly. A month in, he's waking up earlier, moving more, smiling more. The shift starts deep inside, but it shows up everywhere. One of my patients, Alan, 70 years old, once told me, "Doc, I thought I came to you to fix a problem below the belt, but what I didn't expect was to feel like my brain turned back on." That hit me hard, because circulation doesn't just power erections. It delivers oxygen to the brain, nutrients to the muscles, and life to your heart and hormones. Without it, your entire system operates in low power mode. But when you bring that flow back, it's like flipping a switch. Testosterone begins to regulate. Inflammation drops. Nerve sensitivity increases. Your body starts remembering what it means to feel alive. And for many men, that alone changes how they show up in their relationships. They become more emotionally present, more connected, more confident, not just physically, but as husbands, fathers, and men. This ritual isn't just about restoring function, it's about restoring identity. When your blood moves freely, so does your energy, your attention, and your drive to engage with life fully. And that's why I keep recommending this ritual, because it's simple. It's natural, and it works from the inside out. But if you're like most men, you might still be wondering, what exactly could go wrong? What are the common mistakes that hold men back from seeing the full benefit? I'll walk you through them next, so you can avoid the traps and get the results your body is truly capable of. 6. What most men get wrong. Over the years, I've seen too many men get excited about trying something natural, only to give up because they didn't see results fast enough, or worse, because they did it wrong from the start. It's frustrating to watch, not because they didn't try, but because no one ever showed them the right way. And with something as deceptively simple as this oil ritual, how you do it matters just as much as what you do. Let me share what I've seen in my own practice. A man will come in, hear about the benefits of olive oil, then head to the store and grab the cheapest bottle he can find. He'll drizzle it on a sandwich or mix it into a heavy breakfast and wonder why nothing changes. Or he'll use a refined version labeled light that's been stripped of all its healing compounds. It's not his fault. Labels can be confusing, and the food industry doesn't make it easy to know what's truly therapeutic. Here's the truth. If the oil isn't extra virgin, cold-pressed, and rich in polyphenols, it's not going to support your circulation the way you need. And timing matters. It must be taken first thing in the morning on an empty stomach so your body can absorb and use it efficiently without interference from digestion or other foods. Then there's consistency. Skipping days or taking it every other week won't build momentum. Your blood vessels need steady support. This is about creating a rhythm your body can rely on so it begins to heal and restore with each passing day. Getting these details right can mean the difference between small improvements and life-changing results. And the men who get it right, they don't just feel better, they stay better. Now, if you want to amplify these benefits even further, there are a few powerful practices you can stack on top of this ritual, and they don't take more than 10 minutes. Let me show you how to supercharge your results. 7. Bonus. Stack the ritual for maximum results. Once you've committed to the oil ritual each morning, the next step is simple, but powerful. Give your body a little extra help to amplify the benefits. I've found that when my patients add just a few focused practices to their routine, everything starts moving faster. Circulation improves more rapidly, energy levels climb, and intimacy returns more naturally. One of my favorites is a short breathing technique I teach to nearly every man I work with. It's called 4-2-6 breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Do this for 2 or 3 minutes right after taking the oil. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, helping your blood vessels relax and widen. It calms your mind and signals your body that it's safe to heal. Then there's what I call the power stance. Stand tall, hands on your hips, feet shoulder-width apart, and breathe deeply for 2 minutes. This one simple move has been shown to lower cortisol and gently boost testosterone. And more than anything, it helps you reclaim that grounded sense of confidence that can fade with age. If you can, follow it up with a quick morning walk, even just 10 minutes in the sunlight. Walking gets your nitric oxide flowing, wakes up your muscles, and connects your breath to your movement. These aren't exercises, they're invitations to return to the body you once knew and loved. When men combine these steps with the olive oil ritual, the effects multiply. They feel stronger, sharper, and more present, not just in moments of intimacy, but in the quiet hours of the day when energy and clarity matter most. Now, some men may still wonder, can something this simple really lead to lasting change? Can one small daily step actually reverse years of slow decline? In the final part of this journey, I'll give you the answer and show you why the men who stick with it never look back. Conclusion: the first step toward reclaiming your vitality. If there's one thing I've learned after 30 years of walking alongside men through some of their most private struggles, it's this: your body wants to heal. It's built to come back, to restore, to thrive, even after 60. You just have to give it the right tools, the right rhythm, and the right care. We've talked about the hidden crisis of poor circulation and how it quietly robs you of energy, confidence, and connection. We explored how 1 teaspoon of high-quality olive oil each morning, taken with intention, can begin to restore that lost blood flow. You now understand the science behind it, the real stories from men who've turned their lives around, and the common mistakes to avoid. And with a few simple practices like breathing, movement, and presence, you can multiply the impact of that daily ritual. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring your age, your experience, and the man you still are with strength, dignity, and clarity. I've felt the shift in my own body. I've watched it unfold in the lives of my patients, and I believe with everything in me that it can happen for you too. But none of it starts without a choice. One small step, 1 teaspoon, one quiet commitment to yourself. So the question is, are you ready to begin? Because your next chapter is still waiting, and I promise it's stronger than you think.